What if I told you there was ground meat that exists that is low in saturated fats, high in fiber, good for your cholesterol, good for your heart and your brain, and your doctor will not complain if you eat it? No, it's not made of any meat, it's made of nuts. Pecans is a nut that you can use for ground meat, and also walnuts, both nuts that you can use for ground meat. Soak them for at least 4 hours or boil them for about 20 to 25 minutes to get them nice and soft, and then start adding flavor to them in your food processor. Here I'm using portobello mushrooms. I'm also using some garlic and some sun-dried tomato and a little tamari sauce. So I blend that all up, and then I use that as a nice, yummy walnut meat that goes into raw dishes, right? This one you don't have to cook if you don't want, but you can take this same walnut meat, add a little more like some cilantro or whatever, and go ahead and put it back on the stove to cook it a little bit more. Softens it up with marinara and some more seasonings. You can do this raw, or you can put it on the stove. Here I have pure nuts that I've blended here. Then I come behind that with all mushrooms that I blended, and I mix the two together. So that's walnut and mushroom mix. Then I took my sun-dried tomatoes and a little garlic and made like a flavor base. And I also used a little bouillon in there. So I blended that up, and then I decided to use this as my nut meat for my lasagna. So I start with a little olive oil here, 1 onion, take my sun-dried tomatoes, my garlic, and my bouillon. And then I took a bunch of bok choy that I had chopped up. You could use spinach here, you could use kale here. And I mixed it together with my nuts and my mushrooms. Look at how beautiful that mixture is. It's packed with nutrients, good for your heart, your brain, fiber, just all kinds of vitamin A, everything that you need, lycopene from the tomato, all in there. Now, you go ahead and layer that in your lasagna, and no one will ever know the difference. That meat sauce is not turkey or beef or chicken. It's ground, soaked nuts. You can do this with walnuts. You can do this with pecans. Just go ahead and keep layering your lasagna dish, and no one will ever be the wiser. But not only can you use it in lasagna, it's great to use in lasagna, but there's so many other dishes that you can use it in. You can add yourself a little marinara sauce to the nut meat, and then go ahead and make yourself a bolognese, right? A nut meat bolognese, which is amazing. Put that over your spaghetti. None will be the wiser. I had a friend who came to my house, ate it. She didn't know. This one is shepherd's pie. Yum, yum, yum. Again, that is a ground meat base with tomato and gravy and mashed potatoes on top. Here I use nut meat. Here is pecan meat or pecan, whichever you want to say. Used it here for inside of my tacos, and it was literally amazing. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And at the end, I'm going to tell you a little pro tip about how to preserve your nuts, okay? Here I use it in chili, which I put over top of my sausage, which was absolutely yummy. And again, like I said, raw dish. This is a walnut meat salad. Now, here's the tip. Go ahead and keep all of your nuts that you ever get. You either keep them in the refrigerator or in the freezer, and that's going to keep them very long, for about a year. So remember to refrigerate or freeze your nuts for longevity.